want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
Testosterone high today.
Yeah, Tom's a man, he's got the plan, he's really got it made. What a wife he's got, she's smoking hot, check out the junkyard babe. When everything is said and done, no one can beat his show. He's a high-tech redneck, Tony Soprano. If you love sports without the fluff, he's got the master plan. Cause nobody does it like Tom Abraham, yeah.
I guess I'm on here, am I on? Can somebody respond?
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Reaction Monday, or should we call it Overreaction Monday here in the Doghouse. As usual, plenty to get into today off another nuts weekend of football and with the MLB races winding down. Wait. We must pause now. Let's pause the show, stop the show. Let's go to a cut-in of Aaron Judge going for number 61. The heck is that all about? Look, we're watching a football game, all right?
Oh, my God. Who the hell cares?
We're watching a football game. Alert us on the bottom line if you want to, that Judge is up. Let the Yankee fans like me kind of time it up and switch over to the game if we want. Or if he hits it, go to the studio during a break or a break in the action, commercial break. Cut to the studio quick and Aaron Judge, this was 61. I mean, this is worse than those annoying weather cut-ins because it might rain in 3 hours. Let's go to the weatherman with his weather woody telling us that it might rain in 3 hours. And another thing, look, I love the guy. You know I love the guy. I love the guy. But 61 does not mean what 61 meant 25 years ago. When Sosa and McGuire and Bonds tore up the record books while baseball stood by with their heads in the sand. You can't unring that bell just because it feels like it was crappy, just because you know that it was cheating. You can't just unring the bell. Stop acting like this is some kind of historical thing unless you're going to change your record book. And if anything, 62 is really bigger than 61. Tying Roger Maris for the all-time American League home run record in a day and age when there is no American League and National League anymore anyway. It's all one MLB with all this interleague garbage and everything else. Just one league. In ESPN, the joke is on you when the Yankees-Red Sox game got rained out last night in the 7th inning with Judge on deck. Aaron Judge was on deck. They're like, yeah, no. Get out of here. Do you know what you want to talk about? The phone lines are open at 256-576-4977. You can text the show, 732-9TA-SHOW, 732-982-7469. It's a great way to communicate with us. My Twitter feed is at Thom Abraham Show. The station's feed is at 97.7 ESPN. You can watch the show on the Twitter and the Facebook at 97.7 ESPN. You can watch it on the Twitch and the YouTube at WZZN TV. You can follow us on the Twitch and like and subscribe on YouTube. Get notifications. And go to 97.7ESPN.com. Get links to all of that stuff. And while you're at it, get both of our apps, the Zone and the Blitz. You can have links to Zone 2 and Zone 3 and Zone 4 for all our alternate streaming channels for more great programming. Oh, there's football over here. Well, there's Braves over there. Or there's this over there, and there's this over there. Oh, there's Alabama over here, and there's Army over there. We got it all for you. Coming up on Friday night, Buckhorn hosts Mae Jemison for the first of 3 straight region games that could salvage the Bucs season and get them back into the playoffs. The Bucs lost to a really good Gunnersville team, non-region game, on Friday. And they will try to reverse what happened last year. Remember, last year they went out 5-2 and then stumbled home and lost their last 3 games. Well, this year they're going to try and turn that around, maybe. Maybe they finish strong. They got 3 winnable region games coming up, which completely changed the complexion of their city. And then they got Grissom and Decatur. Decatur will be tough. Grissom will be a game. Madison Academy will be on Zone 2 versus Asbury after beating Madison County for its third win of the season. Steve Moulton and Glenn Laird on that one. And 4-1 Randolph will be out at Madison County with Austin Coletti and Drew DeArmond on that game. And as always, the Woody Anderson Ford North Alabama scoreboard show with Scott Tyson beginning on the Blitz at 8:30, and it moves to the air after the Randolph game. No, after the Buckhorn game. You know what I mean. Coming up in the first hour, Thom Luganville from ESPN is in. He got to see the Utes. What's a Ute? Up close last week against Arizona State, and that was an easy win. This week he gets a good measuring stick game for both these teams. You know, Florida State is now 4-0, and they're back in the top 25 for the first time in a minute. While Wake Forest really should have went up in the polls after they controlled Clemson for most of the game, only to fall in overtime to the Clemson Tigers. Of course, these polls are so fickle. You think about it. I mean, look, Tennessee, wonderful offense. Wonderful, wonderful offense. Tennessee hangs on, though. They did everything in their power to give that game away to Florida. Tennessee hangs on to beat a Florida team that was a 10.5-point dog at Tennessee. I mean, they're celebrating like they just made to the playoffs. They barely hang on against a team. They were Tennessee was number 11. They were playing number 20 at home, and you were a 10-point favorite and a half. And you hang on for the win, and you act like you just won the Super Bowl, for God's sakes. But I know it's been a while since you were a top 10 team. So they move up like 3 spots for beating a Florida team that's not even ranked anymore. But these polls are weird. I mean, really, the Kentucky win over the Gators in Gainesville? Am I lying? Was that not a much more impressive win than Tennessee's win over the Gators at home? Kentucky's win, and now Kentucky is ranked 1 spot ahead of Tennessee. Also in the top 10. That game's going to mean something this year. The issue for Tennessee remains the same. Defense. They gave up 600 yards to a Gator team that can't move the ball against a stiff breeze. They gave up 453 yards passing to a quarterback who had thrown for 160 yards against Utah and 140 yards against Kentucky. He doubled his passing output for the season in one game. We'll get into that. And we'll also talk to Thom about the Miami Hurricanes, who are the biggest fraud in all of college football. The Miami Hurricanes are the biggest fraud in all of college football. And I'll tell you what, as somebody that had a son that went to Middle Tennessee and that worked on the Middle Tennessee broadcast team for 5 years, me, not my son, who he worked on the staff there for 3 years, I'm so happy for Rick Stockstill, who I thought had to be, this is it. I mean, he got destroyed by James Madison in James Madison's first FBS game since they moved up from FCS. They beat Middle Tennessee 44-7. And in Middle Tennessee hasn't lost since. That was the first game of the season. And then Middle Tennessee turns around and destroys Miami. And let me tell you something. If they're still playing, Middle is still up in that game by 2 touchdowns. I mean, Miami was never coming back against them. Miami should give up football. Mario Cristobal's got to be sitting there saying, what the hell did I do? I left Oregon for this? For this cesspool? Playing in front of 20,000 people? And getting my head handed to me by Middle Tennessee? Speaking of frauds, how about Mel Tucker? Give him another $10 million a year. How about Mel Tucker and Michigan State? They suck. We are wide open at the top of the 11 for your calls on a number of things, including that wild finish in the Auburn-Missouri game that set SEC football back 100 years. Auburn breaks out to a 14-0 lead behind Robbie Ashford. They look to be cruising. Missouri ties it by the half, and then the hilarity ensues. Both teams punt 6 straight possessions in the second half. Punt, punt, punt. punt. And I'd love to say that it was great defense. I was like, oh, my God, look at this defense. But it wasn't. It was short bus offense is what it was, okay? It was ridiculous offensively for both of them. Then Brian Harsin passes on a 47-yard field goal late in the game. Minute and a half to go in the game. Passes on a 47-yard field goal. Now, look, I know that Carlson had missed a couple of kicks in the first half, or one in the first half, one in the second, whatever it was. His leg is fine. He was 3 for 3 coming into the game. His plant leg, the knee thing he had was fine. And he passes on. He said, I believe in my kicker. I trust my kicker. I'm not trying to 47-yard kick to win the game. Passes on a 47-yard kick. Mizzou takes the ball, drives it all the way down the field, decides to shut it down at the 3-yard line because we're going to rely on the fat soccer player to win the game. Why these teams do that? You're driving the ball all the way down the field. Drive the ball into the end zone. They drive the ball all the way down the field. And by the way, I had I had Auburn in the game minus the 7.5 or whatever we had it on the sheet. So I'm pulling for Auburn. They drive it all the way down. They stop. They just stop at the 3-yard line, run the clock down. They send out the fat kicker, and he shanks it. He goes, John Samuel Shanker from the 16-yard line. 16-yard line. And then Auburn kicks the field goal in overtime. And then the kid's cruising into the end zone for the touchdown to win the game, and he drops the football. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Both those coaches ought to be fired after that game. My goodness. In the meantime, Alabama opened up the Vandy game by throwing the ball 29 times and running it 8 in the first half. But that's not all play calling. I mean, many of those calls were runs, but they always have a check to a pass in them. And Vandy was playing like 15 yards off the wide receiver, so Bryce just kept checking to the pass. The question is, with things getting serious over the next 4 weeks, can you still play like that? I mean, now the Tide go to Arkansas this week, then A&M at home, then Tennessee at Tennessee, then Mississippi State at home before the bye. And there are some interesting personnel things going on with that offense as well. I think that Jace McClellan, Jahmyr Gibbs dynamic is an interesting one. We'll get into that. At 11:25, Auburn captain John Samuel Shanker will join us, courtesy of Valley Equipment Rental. Shunk had 3 catches for 39 yards in the game, which was good for second on the team, because the Tigers could only manage 135 yards passing. But that's okay, because they did run it for 82 yards. Wow. Over there in that little glass booth with the slanted ceiling, playing the Platters That Matter and the Stacks of Wax, and living large off of a Falcons win, a Braves win, the entire NFC South loses. He's fucking Chad.
Who in the blue hell are you? What is your name? Detective. It doesn't matter what your name is.
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together out of spit and polish.
I think this is one of the traits of a really good producer. Keep the talent happy.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. That Tom? Hey, Tom.
Testosterone high today. Testosterone, whatever the it is.
It really doesn't matter what you think. It really doesn't matter what you say.
Any of you play sports?
I just got a hilarious text from Grumpy Grizz.
What's up?
He said Vegas is ruthless. He says Vegas is ruthless. They set the odds that Harsin be the next coach fired at plus 150. Well, I don't know. It might be Drinkwitz. I might go Drinkwitz.
One of them definitely should be.
Yeah.
One of them definitely should be.
So he says it's plus 150, which means if you bet $1 on Harsin to be the next coach fired, you get $1.50 back, right?
Yeah.
Then he says, I don't see why Jimmy Rain just doesn't bet $15 million on Harsin to be the next coach fired and then fire him for free. That's fantastic.
I mean, both, like you said, both coaches deserve to be fired on that situation. And That was a miserable game to watch. I watched that entire game.
I know, me too.
That game was just.
I'm like, what am I looking at here?
Like you said, to be able to drive it all the way down and to miss like less than a chip shot. That was like 16 yards. It was like a 16-yard field goal, and you just miss it, just awfully.
It's
miss
26
it too.
yards. Yeah.
Or still,
it's from the 16-yard line. 26 yards from the 20. And I'm like, are you
like
kidding me? They're going to lose to Mizzou. They're going to lose. Oh, my God, Mizzou shanked it. I mean, it was just – and then in the overtime, oh my God, they're going to lose to Mizzou, and the guy can't put the ball – he can't change the ball from one hand to the other without dropping it on the 1 yard.
I don't know what was worse for me over the weekend with my heart, watching Marcus Mariota for a third straight game try to fumble away a game.
Tried.
To give another team an opportunity to score, or the Braves trying to play in a monsoon and then resuming play and then going on into the extras. So and to remain half a game behind the Mets. So it's going to be a
half or game and a half.
I think it's a game and a half.
I think it's a game and a half.
Yeah. The last time I looked at it was a game and a half.
You know who knows is Phillip.
Of course he does.
Let's see what Phillip wants. You know what Phillip is stoked about tonight? Do you realize that tonight the Giants, they have the opportunity to join the Eagles and the Dolphins as the only teams in the NFL to be able to win their first 3 games. The Giants could be 3-0 after tonight if they can beat the Star. I don't know if they can, though. Phillip, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm all right. That ain't going to happen, though. So,
you think Cooper Rush can get it done at MetLife Stadium? I think the Giants are wearing their throwback Giants gear from when they won the Super Bowl, and it said Giants on the side of their helmet.
Perfect. That's perfect. That reminds me of what was that guy's name? Oh yeah, Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah. Okay, Phil Simms. Those people
broke Theismann's leg like he was snapping a number 2 pencil. That was great.
Oh gosh.
Anyway, I sound a little weird because I woke up Friday morning and I thought that I'd bit my tongue in my sleep, but it's not gone away. So as soon as I'm done, I got to leave. I'm going to go see my ear, nose, throat guy. I got a bunch of white stuff on underneath my tongue. It's like swole up. It's really hard to talk.
I think you got rabies maybe or something like that. You get bit, you didn't get around any rabid animals or anything, did you?
I may have rabies.
Foaming at the mouth.
You weren't here Friday.
No, I was not.
Congratulations and all that stuff. I hope you had a good time.
Wonderful.
I'm sure you did.
It was great.
But so much to talk about, but not enough time. But I still, after talking to your charges, who were in charge of the show Friday, spoke to them during the press conference, the Boston Celtics press conference, and have to swallow a lot. It's really irritating. Mm-hmm. Anyway, my gripe was I heard through all the reports that basically 2 adults working for the Boston Celtics had a long time mutual, consensual, romantic relationship.
Yes.
And it was not a violation of the coach's contract. It was a employee working for the Boston Celtics. What's the word I'm looking for? It just escaped me. But it's
a subordinate. From what I understand, it was. I mean, and I haven't followed it much.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it was a subordinate. Though it was they're not allowed to have relationships within the company. I guess I don't know.
No. Oh, well, that's stupid. Everybody is a subordinate to somebody. Somebody's got a boss. So basically, they're saying
you're not supposed to mess around with people at work.
Romantic relationship with someone at work.
Right.
Why? And it was after the phone call, but right at the end of that press conference, the question was finally asked: has anyone else, or is anybody else going to suffer any consequences from this? And the answer was nope. So, dude working for the Celtics has a long-time mutual sexual relationship with another employee who's doing the same thing. They send investigators out. They watch him do this over and over and over and over and over again, hooking up, whatever. But for some reason, and I'm trying to figure this out. Please explain it. The woman's done nothing wrong, and there will be no consequences from her.
Right.
Well, explain that.
It does say. Well, it does say that they found. And thanks for the call, Philip. Get that thing taken. You might have thrush. Grumpy says you might have thrush. Check your blood sugar. You might have thrush. But I appreciate the call. We got to get to Thom Luganville. The finding is that they found multiple violations of team policies. Okay, so whatever that means, multiple violations of team policies. And I guess the team policies are you can't have a relationship with anybody at work. We don't have that issue at the radio station because we have no chicks that work for us. Right, Grizz? I mean, we don't have to worry about it. It's not like you and Drew are going to have an inappropriate relationship, right?
Yeah, no, we're good. I think we're good around here.
Okay. Let me get a break in here. When we come back, Thom Luganville. We will not be talking about the Celtics coach getting suspended for the year, but we will talk to Thom Luganville about all things college football next on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Your favorite sports book, BetUS.com, is back for their 28th year of NFL action. With the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%, BetUS offers their members the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite leagues, including college football and the NFL. They've also got hundreds of new casino games, including the coolest European slots, and their live dealers are waiting for you at the tables. Sign up at BetUS.com and use the promo code WZZN. That's BetUS.com and the promo code WZZN. What's better than Valley Equipment Rental? 2 Valley Equipment Rentals, and that's just what we have now. The original on the South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road, and their second location on North Memorial Parkway just north of Winchester Road. Valley Equipment is locally owned and has more skid steers, excavators, and lifts than anyone in the area, plus all the small tools that you need to get the job done like a pro. And if you are a pro, you need to check out the new North location now because Valley Equipment has what you need. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
One of the best-kept golf secrets in the Tennessee Valley is Cherokee Ridge. Cherokee Ridge truly offers golf at a higher level with immaculate greens set against a spectacular Appalachian backdrop. This 18-hole championship course takes every advantage of rolling hills, whispering woods, lakes, and streams. Interested in becoming a member? Their membership plans feature affordable options for couples, families, and individuals. Book your tee time today, 256-841-4551. Cherokee Ridge. Championship quality, affordable prices.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You know, you'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us, too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
At Bryant Bank, we believe your goals are worth chasing, and every step along the way is worth celebrating. From your hopes for the future to the challenges that keep you up at night, we're here for you. Bryant Bankers put care into action to help you live legendary by stepping up when you need us most and doing what's right even when no one is watching. Come experience a local bank whose people greet you by name and treat you like family. Bryant Bank, member FDIC.
The Huntsville Sports Commission, a not-for-profit organization, is driven by the love of sports. And we're excited to announce several events already planned for this fall, including the Gulf South Conference Soccer Championship, the AVCA Fall Collegiate Beach Championships, the NCAA Division I Regional Cross Country Championship, and the Running Lane Cross Country Championships. For the love of sports, the Huntsville Sports Commission. Find out more at huntsvillesports.org.
Hi, I'm Capri, and the little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is the chicken. They actually put it on the grill, cooked it in the sauce. It's definitely a good grilled spicy sandwich.
Hey, I'm Michelle, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is it's spicy and it's full of flavor. When you pair that with the Kale Crunch Salad, it's just good.
Order a grilled spicy deluxe sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Available for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Thom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold-certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
This is Paul Feinbaum. Listen to me coming up today at 2. Now back to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Segment of Thom Abraham Show is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, our outstanding service department, second to none. The only place you need to go when you need service on your vehicle, no matter what kind of vehicle it is Woody Anderson Ford. You see the pride they take in those service lanes, and in that shop, you'll know that they're going to take that kind of pride in your place. Smokey Mike is ticked off. Of course, the hater of Vols comes back out after becoming a top 10 team. I'm not being a hater. It's a wonderful offense. I'm just saying you gave up 600 yards to Florida. For God's sakes, you gave up 453 yards passing to a guy that hasn't thrown for 453 yards the whole season combined. I'm just saying I'm not like 100% buying in right now. Great offense, but come on. The Kentucky win at Florida was much more impressive than your win at home against Florida. That's all I'm saying. I'm not hating. Just I'm saying. All right, joining us now is a guy who's much smarter than me about these things. From ESPN, ABC, it's Thom Luganbill on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Lugs, welcome in. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you doing on this fine Monday morning?
Well, I'm already being accosted by Vol fan because I'm just pointing out the fact that they gave up 600 yards to Florida, for God's sakes.
To a team that has a quarterback that can't throw the ball 5 yards.
He had 143 yards against Kentucky and 160 against the Utah team that you just saw. And he goes for
last week.
He goes for 453 against Tennessee.
I know it. I know.
That's a great offense, though. I mean, we got Hendon Hooker does some special things. That's a wonderful offense.
Absolutely.
But God forbid they don't score every possession. I mean, if Alabama, Georgia, the heavyweights roll in there and hold them to 2 or 3 stops in a row, then what happens? And then you're screwed. You got to play some defense,
Well, see, here's the thing. I get a chuckle out of everybody saying that, well, you don't have to be great on defense anymore. Really? Is that true? Because the team that keeps winning the national championships or keeps making the college football playoffs, you know where they're better than everybody else in? Defense.
Yeah.
They're better on defense than everybody else. So I'm not in line with folks that believe that. Now, yes, I know it's become an offensive game and the spread and the zone read and the quarterback and all that. At the end of the day, there's a reason why Oklahoma could never win a college football playoff game.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then Alabama and Georgia play the best defense, in the country over the last 5, 6, 7 years. They're the ones winning the national championship.
And Clemson.
And when Clemson's winning the national championship, it's because they're playing great defense. Now, they didn't play great defense, apparently. I watched some of this game, mostly near the end of it. They didn't play great defense against a Wake Forest team that you will see this week against Florida State. How good is Wake Forest? I would have moved them up in the polls. I would have moved them down. I almost would have moved them up in the polls because they controlled Clemson most of that game.
In terms of Wake Forest?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Listen,
they should have went up.
This week.
Yeah, they went down.
They're a really good football team. They might be one of the most well-coached football teams in all of the land, and they have got an offense that is a nightmare to defend. It is so unique. You never see it. It gets you in such a bind and a conflict of assignment because of that slow mesh action they have in the backfield. And I'll say this. They might be a developmental program. They're not playing with developmental wideouts. Their skill on the perimeter is as good as anybody in that conference.
What about their skill at quarterback, Sam Hartman? I mean, everybody talks about, he missed the first few weeks and all that, but is this guy, when you look at long term, 3-4 years down the road, when we're looking at guys that are performing well at the next level and everything else, is Sam Hartman that kind of a guy?
Potentially. He's not going to be a guy that's going to physically wow you in any facet of his game. Okay, this was a private school, very, very, very late bloomer coming out of high school that was lightly recruited. He was about 6'1", 170 pounds. He's gotten a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger. He's a touch, timing, and rhythm guy. If you watch them, you see how quickly he gets rid of the football. That's why it's so difficult to rush him. But he's not a guy that's going to come onto the field, be this big, physically imposing dude. He's a good athlete. He's extremely accurate. He kind of reminds me of Chase Daniel when Chase Daniel was at Missouri. And look, Chase Daniels found a career in the NFL as being a smart, valuable backup that could get you out of a game. Could Sam Hartman be that type of guy? Potentially. I think he's shown from a collegiate perspective that over the last couple of years, he's been as good as anybody we've had.
There's a couple of programs that it seems like there's hype around. They get new coaching staffs, and then at the end, it's just the same old, same old. One would be Texas, maybe, right? I just hear you dump. It's one thing to lose a game in the last moments to Alabama, but it looked like, that may be okay. Texas is returning, and then boom, you get beat by Texas Tech. And then, of course, there's Miami. And you look at Mario Cristobal, and you wonder I know it's his alma mater, but at what point in time is he looking at their stands and there's 22,000 people in the stands, and he's like, I left Oregon for this grease fire and a team that gets their knob whaled by a Middle Tennessee State team that got their knob whaled by James Madison, for God's sakes.
Listen, man, this is what we have in college football right now, right? I mean, you're dealing with young people, you're dealing with emotions, you're dealing with kids and coaching staff that get caught up in things that don't matter, and you lose your focus. And I mean, it's all across college football, Tom. I mean, when you consider, you mentioned Texas Tech. Look at Marshall. Marshall goes into South Bend, beats Notre Dame, then loses to Bowling Green, who the week before lost in 7 overtimes to an FCS team. All right, and then Troy loses on a Hail Mary at App State in a game they shouldn't have lost, and then they go beat Marshall.
Yeah,
like the whole entire college football land. This is what makes the sport so great, because I mean, look at how Texas A&M has recovered. Look at how LSU has recovered. Oh, and by the way, in case you're not paying attention, Florida State, they're going to be a problem because each week they gain momentum and confidence. They could be in the ACC championship game. That's how good they're playing right now.
Back in the top 25 for the first time in a minute, and now they got Wake Forest this week in a great game that pits two teams that are right on top of each other in the poll. And you got this game coming up on ABC on is it ABC or ESPN on Saturday?
We're on ABC 3:30.
ABC 3:30, ABC Eastern Time, 2:30 Central Time. Wake Forest Florida State game. This is a great measuring stick game for these two teams.
Absolutely, and it's going to be interesting to see how Wake responds. You don't want to let that Clemson and the emotion of the game beat you twice. You're going into a hostile environment. If you watched the Boston College game from Florida State last week, clearly the fans are back engaged and they're back involved. Most of the games I've done at Florida State over the last 4 to 5 years, a third of the stadium is empty. There's just been such apathy surrounding that program, and that seems to have been wiped away. And then you've got this uber hot, unbelievably confident Florida State team that doesn't even resemble a shell of what they've been the last 4 to 5 years. I can't give Mike Norvell enough credit for how he's cleaned up that locker room, how he's changed the mindset. Because nobody's ever argued, Tom, that Florida State didn't have athletes. But they had some real team dynamic issues. And however he's gone about weeding that through, it's worked. Because when you watch them on the road against Louisville 2 weeks ago on a Friday night where they lose their starter, they still win anyway. And the guy plays really good. Every time we've watched Florida State over the last few years and something bad happens, they fold their lawn chair and they take their ball and they go home. Now this team seems to respond to adversity, and we haven't seen that from Florida State. So I think it's a great matchup. It's a matchup that's going to have ACC championship game implications. You're going to have two high-flying, very productive quarterbacks, Sam Hartman and Jordan Travis, and then these running backs that Florida State has, and Trey Benson and Trayshawn Ward, and Lawrence Feely. I mean, all three of those guys. I mean, this is going to be might be one of the better matchups of the entire day on Saturday.
You're going to have to break out the Thom Luganville slicker, though. I mean, you got a hurricane coming in there. I'm just saying,
Why do you got to do that?
I'm just saying, it's like by Saturday. Actually, Friday's supposed to be really bad. But you wonder about this Florida State or Wake Forest, but does Florida State, do they have an indoor facility? Do you know? Because this whole week's going to be a washout. By Tuesday, it's when you start putting your work in, it's a complete washout all the way till game time. Game day, they're saying about 60% chance of still raining, but it's going to be a hurricane Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Do they have any kind of indoor facility? They have any place to go?
We're at Florida State?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They've had an indoor facility that they've had for probably the last 5 or 6 years. They got plenty of places to be able to practice, get out of the rain. But if there's an expectation that you're going to have some of that on Saturday, if you're Mike Norvell, you better practice in it. Don't protect yourself to make you feel good during the practice day, only to go out on a game type scenario, have the same conditions, and not be able to perform well.
Well, that's what they're saying. They're saying like there's lingering showers on Saturday, so you might not. You know what I mean? They'll have bad weather up there all week, and then you want to be ready to play on Saturday. All of a sudden it breaks out and the storm's gone and it's clear out and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's going to go. Now you saw the Utah Utes up close. This is a team that lost to Florida. You saw the Utes up close this past week. They're sneaking up on the top 10 once again. They're not the best team in the Pac-12. It looks like that USC is that team. But what was your impression of the Utes on that relatively easy victory over Arizona State?
Really, really talented. Built for the long haul. They're big. They're physical. They're gifted, particularly up front on each side of the ball, which kind of makes them different than everybody else in the Pac-12. We're going to find out more about them. I'm going to find out a little bit more about SC here in the coming weeks as they get set to clash, I think 2 to 3 weeks from now. I think they are a college football playoff contender as a team. But if you said, hey, Lugs, you're on the sideline, pregame warm-up, and you're looking at Georgia on one side, and you're looking at Utah on the other. You're looking at Ohio State on one side, you're looking at Utah on the other. Could they play with those teams if they had to get through 2 games to win a national championship? And my initial reaction would be no. They don't have that type of athlete. They don't have that type of player. But from a team dynamic perspective, their foundation and their culture is about the cleanest you will find in college football. I mean, you look at the last 20 years under Kyle Whittingham, you have such stability within the program, and they know exactly who they are. They don't try to be something else. Quarterback's a really, really good player. But I think if they got through the Pac-12 unscathed, will they have earned a trip to the college football playoff? Possibly so. Would they be one of the 4 best teams in college football? I don't think so.
Now, the program is clean. Their fans are a little bit whacked. I mean, you got fans threatening to blow up nuclear reactors. You got girls doing body paint with no shirts on. You got some goofy stuff going on in Utah. I mean, they're a little bit nuts there. I don't know what's going on.
As long as it's not happening in Provo, right?
No, not Provo. Yeah, this would be in Salt Lake, but not Provo. Thom Luganville with us here. All right, let's bring it back to do you still feel, on a big picture, do you still feel like we have a big 3 that are separate from everybody else battling for that number 4 spot? Does it feel like Georgia, Alabama, and Ohio State are a different animal than the Michigan, Clemson, USC, Kentucky, whoever is battling for that 4th spot?
Yeah, I believe so, as far as kind of the completeness of the football team. Like, for example, I would put Clemson in that conversation on defense with any of the teams that you just mentioned. But I still think they're a work in progress on offense. They made a huge leap this last weekend on the road at Wake Forest. But from a complete perspective, I think Clemson is very average at best in the offensive line. Certainly not where they need to be. I would probably say Michigan would be the team, in my opinion, that's just nipping at the heels of that top four. Could be in the conversation, has the opportunity to develop into one of those top four teams, still kind of bringing some things along on defense. But I was surprised at what happened. I shouldn't have been shocked at what happened with Oklahoma because they've struggled with K-State before in Norman. For whatever reason, that seems to be something that they have struggled with. But this is kind of, I think, until we see more games unfold, more competitive matchups unfold, this is kind of where we're at with college football right now as far as three teams and then kind of maybe another tier of 2 to 3 teams and then everybody else.
Did it feel like Michigan shouldn't have struggled the way they did with Maryland, or does Mike Loxley and Talia Tagovailoa and those guys, they got something going on there at Maryland that they hung with Michigan throughout that game, took a huge game from the Corum kid, the running back for Michigan, for them to get over at home against their first real competition of the year?
I think that maybe they underestimated Maryland a bit, but I also think Maryland is vastly improved. If Maryland can stay healthy, they don't have the depth that you'd like to have yet, but they're frontline starters now. They've got some guys that are pretty good, and the quarterback's a good player. So they have to stay healthy. But offensively, I think they'll go into every game and be able to be in the game because they can get into a track meet and feel comfortable in that realm. And even though they lost, there's no moral victories. I think it was a great measuring stick for them to see the progress that they have made in 2 short years under Mike Loxley.
We thought last week that the Missouri-Auburn game would be a measuring stick for those two guys. I called it a pink slip game. It's like whoever loses that game should get their pink slip. Now I feel like they maybe both should. I mean, it was that second half. I mean, 6 straight punts out of both sides. Auburn passing up on a 47-yard field goal with 1:37 to go in the game. I mean,
unbelievable.
What a good kicker. I mean, I know he had missed a couple. 50.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I can't believe they didn't line up to kick the field goal. The game would be over. But then to line up in the most we are going to run obvious formation of all time, and you have no quarterback play. So everybody in the stadium, including the hot dog vendor, knows exactly what's coming. You're pouring the offensive line, and your best football player in Tank Bigsby is becoming the most wasted player in all of college football.
Yeah. I thought he was hurt or something. He was in a witness protection program in the second half. I'm like, what happened here? I don't understand what's going on. And then Missouri drives down, and for the love of God, are you going to leave this? I know it's 26 yards. I know that every high school kid at any top high school in Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina make that kick. But for God's sakes, I mean, why not just go ahead and keep pumping it in? Maybe you pump it in. It's the 3-yard line. And then the fat kicker misses a 26-yarder.
I know it. And the thing is, it makes it so bad. And not to pick on the guy, but you can't wear that number and have that type of build and play the kicking position.
No, you can't.
You're just held up to so much scrutiny. I mean, let's just call it.
It's just going to kill you.
Right.
It's just, and your name is like Beavis and Butthead. You know, I mean, you can't do that. I call him Harrison Beavis and Butthead. But and then you're going in for the touchdown to win the game, and the kid can't transfer the ball from one hand to the other, and he fumbles it on the one hand. It was ridiculous. I mean, I thought this set football back 100 years watching the end of that football game.
It was a blunder of epic blunders, and both coaches are coaching for their jobs. I don't think there's any question about that. And but I'll tell you, man, it is so hard because you watch Auburn, right, and you watch any football team that's struggling. You say, okay, well, what can we fix here? What can we fix there to make us better, right? There's no answer for that for Auburn right now. Like. That might be one of the worst teams in Power 5 football right now at the quarterback position. Yeah. I mean, it's astounding to me to see them and their inability to function under center.
Well, okay, but again, Jimmy's and Joe's are guys in T-shirts. I see Bo Nix over there throwing for another 1,000,000 yards and 4 more touchdowns or whatever the heck he's doing. So,
but do you trust him? He deserves a lot of credit for what he did in the second half last week. But do you trust him to do that for 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks? Has he ever shown you anything that would tell you he'd do that again?
That's true. All right, finally.
I'm taking a wait-and-see approach on him.
Finally, you had Georgia Tech twice this season, and Jeff Collins is now done there.
Yeah.
Is that Look, Paul Johnson went there and he was competitive because he did something that nobody does, and it made it a pain in the butt to play them and all of that kind of stuff. Is that, though, just an ACC wasteland? I mean, it's Atlanta, for God's sakes. Is it because of the academics? What is the deal there? Can anybody go there and make Georgia Tech a thing, or are they just destined to be Vandy? You know?
Okay, so it's a hard job. No, they're not destined to be Vandy because they do care about the sport of football there far more than the Vandy administration does. And the issue that they have more than anything else is the academics are a big part of it, right? And it's not so much the academics of getting guys into school. It's the mindset now of the high-profile recruit that sees his path to the NFL, or what he perceives to be the path to the NFL,
right,
as I'm going to be a 3-and-out guy, NIL, and I sure as heck don't want to strain myself academically for 3 years while I'm there, right? So you can have all of these great players, and they're going to consider Auburn and Alabama and Georgia and Florida and Clemson and things of that nature. And let's just say you can get them into school. Do they want to have to deal with all of that right now? I mean, you've got a great town, great city. NIL opportunities should be just pouring out of the building because you're in downtown Atlanta. But I think it's the kids don't want to deal with that side of it. And I know that sounds taboo, and we can't say that about academics. But let's all live in the real world here too. It's kind of what it is. There's players in every direction outside of that office, but it is a challenging job. It's just different than what it was 20, 25 years ago, and it's a shame because there's so much tradition there. You know, it's a high-profile college football program and job that has, I think, real challenges right now in today's college football.
They need one of those big-time rappers that's based out of Atlanta to throw a big pile of cash down and help with their NIL situation, because there should be all kinds of money coming out of there, out of that area.
There should. And right now,
you got to make it cool, though. You got to make it a cool place to go. You got to make, I want to go to the Ramblin' Wreck at Georgia Tech. You know what I mean? You got to make that a cool thing, and that's going to be the problem. I don't know who takes that job. I don't know where they go for a coach.
I'll tell you a guy that might be interested in it. Kevin Wisenhunt, Coach Wisenhunt from he's coached there before. Right now, he's an analyst. Ken Wisenhunt, he's an analyst for James Franklin at Penn State. He's been a head coach twice in the NFL. I think he's a guy that would have some interest. That would bring some cachet.
Yeah.
And so we'll see. I think that there's always somebody out there that's going to want a job, even if the job's impossible to do, like the Arizona State job right now.
But they'll get a guy. I just don't know what guy they're going to get.
What's your expectation level? Are you wanting a splash hire without having the goods behind it to justify it, or are you going to be good with saying, all right, let's go grab – this is going to sound terrible, but, why wouldn't you go and get a Jeff Monken at Army?
Yeah.
Right? Go bring some of that back. It worked. It
did work. It did work. Yeah. And you're right. It makes it difficult to prepare for him. All right. Always a pleasure. Tom Luganville has been our guest every Monday, brought to us by the good folks at Woody Anderson Ford. Lugs, take the slicker, and we'll look forward to maybe being a dry game. But I think you got a great game there at Tallahassee with Wake Forest and the Demon Deacons taking on the Seminoles. I think it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I do too, man. Looking forward to it. Have a great week, Tom.
All right, thanks. Lugs. Let's get a break. We will come back, wrap up segment number 1, set you up for a wide open segment in the top of the 11 next on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of the Stanton Law Firm. Stan, I guess you are the Stanton in the law firm.
Yes, Wes, that's me, and we started the Stanton Law Firm so that myself and 4 other attorneys with me can help clients litigate, negotiate, and creatively solve legal and real estate problems.
Now, Stan, you grew up on a family farm in this area and have made a name closing on houses and land with your closing company, Jacob Title.
I grew up on a farm which used to be in the country. That, plus having closed on so many homes and farms, one of my colleagues started referring to me as a classic dirt lawyer. Now, I didn't know how to take that at first, that tag, but I realize that's exactly what I do and what I am.
Dan, I know the attorneys at Stanton Law Firm are regular listeners, and we plan to have you on periodically. You and I have seen have impacted this community.
Stay tuned, and you may hear about friends like Steve Booker, Clarence Johnson, Thomas Boyd, and even a few of those offensive line hogs like Hoss Johnson, and maybe you remember some other of those guys too.
I remember Clarence Johnson. He beat us one year. He was unbelievable.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Two Maids and a Mop. That's all you need to know to clean house. Two Maids and a Mop is an award-winning company, bonded and insured. Hire them for yourself, or they have gift cards if you want to make someone else's day. Find out more online at twomaidshuntsville.com. A maid service worth talking about. Two Maids and a Mop take care of everything. They supply all the cleaning equipment needed. Call 256-883-6243. The only finger you'll need to lift is the one to call them.
Tired of the same old menu options everywhere you go? Then you need to try Metro Diner in Huntsville and Madison. The award-winning Metro Diner serves up signature dishes like their Charleston shrimp and grits, famous fried chicken and waffles with strawberry butter, and lots more. Their entire menu is available anytime, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And stop by for brunch on Saturday or Sunday and enjoy the lowest price mimosas in town. Airport Road, Huntsville, and Highway 72 in Madison. In diner or at home, make it Metro Diner.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now, and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, the orthopedic specialists from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you, so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
From Coleman to Fayetteville and all points in between.
Son, pull the hammer back. Smokey's coming at you in a plain white wrapper.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Segment of the Thom Abraham Show is brought to you by the fine folks at North Alabama Mortgage. As Brian Hamaker and his team standing by to make sure that you get the right product. First of all, you got to get pre-approved with First Alabama Mortgage so that when you make your offer on the place that you're looking to buy, you walk in there and you say, look, I am ready. All right, I am ready right now to make that purchase. All right, we don't have to screw around. I'm making that purchase. I'm good to go. Okay. The other thing is the refis. You know, there's a great opportunity out there to refi now, get this rate in there and get it locked in. I know the rates have come up some, but still they're good enough to where, you know, you can get a lot done. You got a lot of value in your house. So talk to North Alabama Mortgage about how they can help you with that. It's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com. NorthAlabamaMortgage.com. All right, just a quick note. I haven't followed the whole Udoka story real close, Grizz. I know you're into the NBA and you follow this stuff a little bit closer, right. But just to say this about just to finish the thought on that we had earlier with the Phillip. My understanding is that this relationship may or may not have been consensual. I mean, they say that it was consensual, an intimate, improper, consensual relationship with a female member of the team staff. But then also it has been reported that team leadership was led to believe that by both parties, that it was consensual, but maybe it wasn't totally consensual. And then it says multiple violations. We don't know. I mean, they're protecting the guy to a certain extent.
Let it all play out.
Yeah, we don't know. Yeah, everybody's making it. Oh my God, I can't believe they're doing this because he's having a relationship with a girl in the company. We don't know that's. We don't know what they uncovered. We don't know how they're trying to protect maybe him. So I'm just saying, I'm sure there's a lot more to this than what was reported publicly. All right, we are wide open for the next segment of the show. If you want in, jump in 256-576-4977 on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hi, I'm Capri, and the little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Girl Spicy Deluxe is the chicken. They actually put it on the grill, cooked it in the sauce. It's definitely a good grilled spicy sandwich.
Hey, I'm Michelle, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is it's spicy and it's full of flavor. When you pair that with the kale crunch salad, it's just good.
Order a grilled spicy deluxe sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Available for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Breaking news, 7-time NASCAR champion Jimmy Johnson is retiring from full-time racing and will turn his focus towards spending time with his family. The 47-year-old says he figures his future schedule will include no more than 10 bucket list events. From ESPN's Adam Schefter, Patriots quarterback Mac Jones, believed to have suffered a high ankle sprain in the loss to the Ravens, will undergo an MRI today to confirm that diagnosis and determine the severity of the injury. New England's top backup is Brian Hoyer. After 7+ decades, the Pro Bowl has ended. The NFL is replacing it with week-long skills competitions and a flag football game. The Pro Bowl games will feature AFC and NFC players showcasing their football and non-football skills in challenges over several days. The 2023 games will be held in Las Vegas, and the flag football game at Allegiant Stadium is Sunday, February 5th.
Hold your block until the whistle blows.
From SEC Media Days to the National Championship Game.
This was a great team win.
We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Do you know that your car or truck or SUV may be worth up to 30 or 40% more than it was last year? It's true. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and now is the perfect time to trade in, trade up to a gold certified or blue certified pre-owned car, truck, SUV, or crossover. While our new vehicle inventory continues to build back, our Ford Blue Advantage certified pre-owned vehicles are nearing 100 models to choose from, and a good variety too. Woody Anderson Ford Gold certified vehicles are 6 years or younger with less than 80,000 miles and have passed 172-point inspection by factory certified technicians. They have a 14-day, 1,000-mile money-back guarantee, a great comprehensive limited warranty, 24-hour roadside assistance, and go home with full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. Get nearly a new ride and none of the worries. Woody Anderson Ford, Jordan Spartman, hope to see you soon.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen.
For this Monday, expect plenty of sunshine. High temperatures expected to top out in the upper 70s for the afternoon. We could see gusty winds as high as 20 miles per hour. Heading into your Monday night, temperatures will be dropping into the lower 50s for the overnight, and you can expect a clear sky. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
4 Heisman Trophy winners, 33 Southeastern Conference championships, 18 national championships. Hi, this is Chris Stewart of the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Listen to Alabama football all season long on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You need to be more like a dog. Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about. Be a dog. God bless the show. You are the Messiah. We need more dogs. This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. Hey, I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live, here he is, the big dog.
Let's go, baby!
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
And welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Thom Abraham Show. So glad that you are with us. And if you want to jump in on the show, you can do it right now. This segment of the show is brought to you by my friends at BetUS.com. Back for their 28th year of NFL action, it's BetUS.com. They got the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%, I should say. And you can bet on everything. I mean, you can bet on the hockey, the basketball, of course, the college football, the NFL, and the MLB. All that stuff is at BetUS.com. Use the promo code WZZN when you go there. That's promo code WZZN to get the best deals from BetUS.com. Alabama has opened as they opened as a 14.5-point favorite and are now a 16-point favorite at Arkansas. Be careful. All I'm saying is be careful with that one. It just, I mean, I'm always careful, but I look at that one and I say, be careful there. Because it feels like that, Arkansas is a different level of competition. Arkansas should have won that football game against Texas A&M. I mean, Arkansas is going in when they have that freak touchdown that goes the other way with the fumble and the handoff and everything else. They're going in. That whole game turned right then and there. Should have won that football game. No doubt about it. Auburn is getting 7.5, somewhere in there against LSU. Both of those games obviously will be both beat the big dog and in the Friday trifecta. And in the BetUS.com Friday trifecta, congratulations to Jason and to Martinez. Yes, congratulations to those two guys. Yes, thank you. Congratulations to those two guys who both got 2 bonus points on the Grand Trifecta Big Board. They both pick up the Champy's chicken. All right, so good job by them, both Jason and Martinez. Chris, you got addresses for both of those guys now? I think I sent you Jason's. I'm not sure.
Maybe. I know you gave me.
You got Martinez? Did I send you Martinez?
Is that Matthew Martinez? Because it
yes.
just says Martinez.
Yes.
Because I can't just put I don't think I can just put a last name on there.
No, it's Matthew Martinez, yeah.
But yeah, thanks, Matthew Martinez. And then, I think I don't think I have Jason's. I'd have to go back to
Jason, if you're listening.
I'm not sure. He'd have to call in.
Yeah, hit call in or hit the text window and give us your address so we can send you your chicken, okay? Your Champy's chicken. Jason also takes the lead with 3 points on the big board. The Phillip has 2, Paul Cook, Jordan, Bolin JJ, Badger Larry, and Martinez all have 2 as well. Long way to go. Long way to go. And then beat the big dog. I went 4-2. Man, we all got stung on that Arkansas game. Arkansas was plus 1.5. I actually thought it was 2.5. Arkansas was plus 1.5. And Arkansas, Texas A&M got the win there. But I had the Browns. I had Florida plus 10.5. I had the Fins. I had the Dolphins. I was the only one that had the Dolphins. I had the Dolphins win the game outright. And we all had the Packers in that one. So I went 4-2. Dirty Bird went 3-3. And Grizz went 3-3. So now on the season, I pull within one of you guys. The listeners still lead on the season. The listeners are 14-10 against the spread. I am 13-11 against the spread. And Grizz is 10-14 right now against the spread. So there's your BetUS.com update on Beat the Big Dog and on the Friday trifecta. I mentioned that Alabama, by the way, phone lines are open. If you want to get in, I'll get you on 256-576-4977. That'll get you into the show. Now, Brandon's got to be gone, right? I'm just thinking that Brandon's gone. Okay. Brandon, if you want to come back through, you can come back through. Wolverine Dan, I'll get you in a second. Jason, I'll get to you in a second. Alabama threw the ball 29 times and ran the ball 8 times in the first half. And a lot of people are screaming about the play calling. But you got to understand something. In this offense, they go to a lot, even if they call a run play, there's always a check option to a pass if they're giving it to you. I mean, really giving it to you. You always have that look. It's not like in the old days when you would go to the line of scrimmage and a run play was called and you were running that run play.
Coach called 26 power. We're running 26 power, mud, flood, shit, or blood, man. We're going to run 26 power. It don't matter who's there or what's there. We're going to run 26 power, and you knew you had to get a double team. You knew you had to get a kick out.
Yeah, it's not like that now. Now you go to the line of scrimmage, you call 26 power, check, Z flat. And you have Vanderbilt playing 14, 18, 15, 11 yards off the ball all the time. They were so terrified. So what do? He goes to the line of scrimmage, check, flip it out to the wide receiver. That's the way it was. Now, people are knowing that. They know that it's like that. So what they're going to do is they're going to come to the line of scrimmage. They're going to start showing you some press looks, and then bailing. They'll use the bail technique. They might show you a bail technique and then come up fast, hard. They'll show you the bail technique and then come up man under and come over the top with safeties. They're going to try and disguise that. Vanderbilt didn't disguise anything. Vanderbilt lined up off the ball, stayed off the ball. I think that's why you got what you got. I was hoping that Alabama will get up there and work on their run game. Work on getting the run game. Because I think when you get into this next stretch of games, Arkansas, Texas A&M, Tennessee, Mississippi State. This next stretch of 4 games before the bye, I think you're going to have to be able to run the ball. I think you have to be able to run the ball some. All right, let's go to the lines. Wolverine Dan had a mixed weekend. He's up. Wolverine Dan, welcome to the show. How are you?
I don't want to hear you say you didn't play nobody now. Don't say that, Tom.
Who didn't play nobody?
You say that every time, every week.
No,
you play nobody. You ain't play nobody.
Yeah, now you got your first Big Ten action, and it was a much more competitive game. Corum was a stud. He was absolutely a stud. The running back is outstanding. That is a good win, but, it's a 7. They didn't cover the spread. I mean, it was a 7-point win in a game they were favored by 12 or 13 points in.
Okay, I understand that.
Competitive. It was a competitive game.
So from now on, you don't have to say you ain't played nobody.
Well, now you got Iowa. Yeah, now you got Iowa next. It's all Big Ten action now. So now we're going to really start to learn some stuff.
Well, I'm going to Iowa Friday. I'm watching the game in Iowa.
But you're not going to the game?
Yeah, I'm going to the game.
Oh, you're going to the game at Iowa?
Yeah.
Oh, how did that happen? That's great.
Well, my childhood friend that we grew up since we were babies. I've known this dude. He's a really nice guy, great dude, loves sports, very successful. And he says, hey, listen, I said, I got tickets. If you're going to say, first off, he said, you're not saying no to me. I got tickets to the game. I'll put you up in a hotel, and All you got to pay for is your airfare and your food.
Nice. Well, congratulations. You know what? That is a great experience no matter, well, you're going to win the game, but that is a great experience anyway because the whole Kinnick Stadium thing, they love their football out there. At the end of the first quarter, you wave to the kids up in the hospital. I mean, you're going to really enjoy. I mean, that's a phone call I'm going to want to get when you get back because I just want to hear about what it's like to go to Kinnick Stadium.
I'm in front of your radio station now. I got some grub for Steve and
good.
Chad, so. Yeah, I'm right.
You're feeding those guys? What are you feeding them?
Yeah, I'm touching them up. Yeah, I already touched up Mike this morning.
What are you feeding them?
Well, I made him the barbecue ribs you like. I fed Mike all that stuff.
Nice. Where the hell are my ribs?
No, he showed me earlier.
Leave some ribs there for Captain Cool. He can bring them.
They're going to be gone, dude.
He can bring them back. Okay. I get no ribs. I get no ribs.
Hey, but I got cookies for the guys, so I'm bringing cookies. Hey, listen, I dropped off a bag tonight, brother. Yeah. That's right. You should say, one of these days you should put down, record like, Michigan, go blue. There you go.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's despicable.
Right. Yeah. Hey, listen, in the Lions, Lord have mercy.
Oh, my God.
I mean, competitive team. They were actually even competitive last year. They only had one blowout against Philadelphia. But, they're so competitive. They're in the game. They're playing out of their mind. But, man, they don't have the killer shut-it-down instinct in the fourth quarter. Man, it frustrates the crap out of me. I mean, I was at Baumhauer's. I dropped $130 hanging out with my family, buying everybody drinks and food. And I was feeling good. My stomach was good. And all of a sudden, the fourth quarter, I had an upset stomach going, oh, you got to be kidding me.
I wish I had only dropped $140 this weekend with this wedding thing and everything else.
That's right. You got touched up.
Fun.
Oh, my God, did I get busted up good. Oh, my Lord. I didn't even want to look at my bank account to see what this – because not only it's the wedding, it's the day before the wedding, it's taking everybody out to lunch, it's taking everybody out to dinner, it's taking everybody everywhere. I mean, it was miserable.
Hey, did you looked at the bill? Did you sit down before you looked at the bill? That way you didn't get far to fall.
No, you know what? They bring me to check. We sit even yesterday morning. Like we go to church yesterday morning, and after church, my sisters were here and their husbands, and then my daughter and her husband, and then a bunch of Joe's kids and Joe. So we end up 13 at brunch after church. We end up 13 at brunch, and the girl's like, how do I break this up? I'm like, just put it all on one. Just bring it to me.
Oh, no.
What are you going to do? She's like, okay, who's paying for what? I'm like, just bring it to me. Jeez.
Hey, listen, that brunch, people say, I always tell my wife, I said brunch. Does that mean like all you can eat? It's just a big fancy word for like expensive breakfast for crying out loud.
No, it was in between breakfast and lunch. So it's brunch. It's in between. It was like at 11 o'clock in the morning in between breakfast and lunch. So it's brunch.
Well, bottom line is I'm sure, you were probably tempted when they pass around the basket at church. Maybe you're going to take a couple out and put them in your pocket to cover the expense.
You make change.
Oh, Lord. All right, dude. Hey, listen, I'm not giving up on my Lions. I mean, no playoffs this year probably, but they're very competitive. And, I think it's almost like we're almost there, Tom. It's just going to –
just a miserable loss. I mean, and then you're thinking that you're going, he threw for 277 and a touch, and you're thinking that they're gonna set up for a field goal, tie, go to overtime, and they throw a touchdown pass. The guy's wide open at the end of the game. I mean, anyway, it's just
in
miserable.
Arkansas, one more thing. He screwed me on my freaking square. I was all set to cash in, and then he missed that dang field goal.
All right. Appreciate you.
Going up there to drop off the stuff.
Yeah. Smokey Mike says, that's why Richardson was considered a dark horse Heisman top NFL prospect. 0 bucks.
Great take.
It doesn't matter that they didn't punt. It can't stop anybody. 600 yards. Richardson, this is the same guy. This is the guy that threw for 140 against Kentucky.
I mean,
at home.
If you wanted to watch hardly any offense, you could have watched last night's Monday or the Sunday night game.
That was it. That was
awful.
That was it. And then Jimmy G runs out of the back of the end zone for the 2-point conversion. He gives them the win with running out of the back of the end zone for a safety. What a nightmare that was. He goes all Dan Orlovsky and runs out of the back of the end zone And that's the margin of victory?
There's a special group running out the back of the end zone.
My gosh.
Punters were the player of the game last night for sure. It was when you have like 17 punts that were like 13 of them were inside the 20. They had over 1,000 yards of punt yards or something. It was ridiculous.
Jason is up next. Is this Jason that's our leader in the clubhouse? Jason, congratulations, Jason, on getting the win in the trifecta and taking over the lead on the big board. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I think I'm 6-0 on the picks the last 2 weeks.
6. Well, you didn't. No, you're what you are is actually you are 7-1 because you're 7-1 over the last 2 weeks now because you won both trifectas and you picked up a bonus point this week. You didn't get the bonus last week.
Heck, I was going to ask for walk-up music. I went 3-0 next week.
I tell you what, you go 3-0 next week. I'm going to get your picks ahead of time and start playing your picks.
Oh, right. Hey, what about Atlanta? You think they're going to dash Cleveland Browns playoff chance next week?
Boy, I'll tell you what, that is not the easy out that I would have thought it would have been earlier in the year or in the off season. Atlanta has played Atlanta should be 2-1.
3-0.
To be honest with you, huh?
3-0.
No, they shouldn't be 3-0.
2 fumbles away from being 3-0.
Well,
I'm about ready to hit that button and get my Atlanta Falcons playoff ticket.
I tell you what, I'm about hit that button and get. I wonder what kind of last minute ticket prices I could get to run over there with my sons and see the Browns and the Falcons. I think it's going to be a much tougher game, than a lot of people might have anticipated originally. Cleveland's going to be able to run the ball. Can Atlanta stop the run? I mean, I don't know, Grizz. Are they doing what kind of run defense? Can they deal with that? Because the Browns, are going to pound the ball. They would pound the snot out of the ball with them running backs.
If I was going to go against Atlanta, I would pound the ball.
Oh, I would.
Think they can hold up.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I mean, I'll say this: it's the most athletic defensive line I've seen in some time. I think what they're missing is just one. They need another pass rusher on the other side, just to kind of keep Grady Jarrett from having to get. I mean, he's going to get the double team every time. I think what's the issue is the secondary isn't playing as well, even with a veteran like Casey Hayward, and then you got A.J. Terrell, who's going to get the number one guy every single time. I've seen him a couple of times get absolutely burnt by Allen Robinson. He got burnt by DK Metcalf this weekend. So I think the secondary needs to play well. The linebackers are playing
now,
really
the secondary
well,
doesn't need to play great because Cleveland doesn't throw the ball downfield. That's what I'm telling you. So that won't be an issue. Browns do not throw. They don't even try to throw the ball downfield. Now, they will throw underneath Amari Cooper quite a bit.
In years past, the Atlanta Falcons have been really, really bad at running backs that can catch the ball out of the backfield. They were probably dead last in the NFL in past years. Dean Pease is a little bit different. I think it's because of the athletic linebackers, and you've got the athletic defensive line that I think that they've got a better chance when it comes to that. I think they've been playing really well. I think they were ranked second in the second week. I mean, that was like one game, right? So I mean, they've been fairly low. When
the question's going to be simple: line. Can they stop the run? That's the only question that matters, is are they able to stop the run?
Being able to stop it on third down was really good, too, and they weren't able to stop the Seahawks on fourth down, but I will say that they were playing really well to be able to stop them on third down, but a couple of times they were able to convert.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Grizz, now next year with the Falcons need a quarterback, who are you drafting? Are you going Bryce Young, Stroud? Who would you pick?
I mean, I've always said Bryce Young, but I mean, if you can get away with Mariota, and then you've got Desmond Ridder as a backup, if he can be something. I mean, what's wrong with winning one more game, maybe the rest of the year, and then going after Will Anderson? I think if you get another pass rusher, you're going to need a linebacker. You're going to need a linebacker / defensive end, because I think if Deion Jones can come back, he's not healthy.
You guys are forgetting that you've drafted Desmond Ridder.
I just said that. I said if you can have Desmond Ridder as the backup, and you have Mariota kind of like ease his way into the pros. Why not go for a Will Anderson that he could be 1 or 2 right there if you only win 2 games in the rest of the season?
Will could be back in Atlanta playing. That'd be great.
I think you go after a pass rusher. You get a pass rusher or Will Anderson, a linebacker. You get an outside linebacker or another defensive end. You get another guy on the other side of Ebiketie.
If you upgrade your defense, another team can score. You can win with margin of offense.
Yeah.
I think the way that they're letting Algier into the backfield, the way that they're using Cordell Patterson out of the backfield, I don't know. Every coach that never used him as a running back should never have a coaching job ever again. And then you got Drake London and Kyle Pitts coming into their own. I mean, I'll say this: Marcus Mariota threw 2 floaters, and I about had a heart attack because I thought it was going to be a pick, but somehow, some way, Drake London and Kyle Pitts made the catch. And I mean, if you've got that really good offense, I mean, who knows what happens if you put a decent quarterback out there with what they have on offense.
Well, here's your problem. Okay, you're giving up 4.82 yards per carry, and you're going against the number 1 rushing offense in the NFL. You're 21st in allowing yards per carry, and you're going up against the number 1 rush offense in the NFL. Browns are a 2.5-point favorite, by the way, in that game. All right, let's get it. Good job by you. Appreciate it, Jason. Congrats on winning that deal. All right, let's get a break. When we come back, John Samuel Schenker will join us next right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Your favorite sports book, BetUS.com, is back for their 28th year of NFL action. With the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%, BetUS offers their members the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite leagues, including college football and the NFL. They've also got hundreds of new casino games, including the coolest European slots, and their live dealers are waiting for you at the tables. Sign up at BetUS.com and use the promo code WZZN. That's BetUS.com and the promo code WZZN.
One of the best-kept golf secrets in the Tennessee Valley is Cherokee Ridge. Cherokee Ridge truly offers golf at a higher level with immaculate greens set against a spectacular Appalachian backdrop. This 18-hole championship course takes every advantage of rolling hills, whispering woods, lakes, and streams. Interested in becoming a member? Their membership plans feature affordable options for couples, families, and individuals. Book your tee time today, 256-841-4551. Cherokee Ridge. Championship quality, affordable prices.
Football season is here, and as always, the best place to catch every game is downtown at Humphreys Bar and Grill. Humphreys is celebrating by bringing back their game day football specials. $2.50 Miller Lite, Yingling, and now $3.50 Yellowhammer Gold Pints. Anytime football is on. Live music continues every night with 5 o'clock Charlie, and don't forget about brunch on Sundays with Microwave Dave. The best place to catch all the games all season long is Humphreys Bar and Grill.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of the Stanton Law Firm. Stan, I guess you are the Stanton in the law firm.
Yes, Wes, that's me, and we started the Stanton Law Firm so that myself and 4 other attorneys with me can help clients litigate, negotiate, and creatively solve legal and real estate problems.
Now, Stan, you grew up on a family farm in this area and have made a name closing on houses and land with your closing company, Jacob Title.
I grew up on a farm which used to be in the country. That, plus having closed on so many homes and farms, one of my colleagues started referring to me as a classic dirt lawyer. Now, I didn't know how to take that at first, that tag, but I realized that's exactly what I do and what I am.
Stan, I know the attorneys at Stanton Law Firm are regular listeners, and we plan to have you on periodically. You and I have seen have impacted this community.
Stay tuned, and you may hear about friends like Steve Booker, Clarence Johnson, Thomas Boyd, and even a few of those offensive line hogs like Hoss Johnson, and maybe you remember some other of those guys too.
I remember Clarence Johnson. He beat us one year. He was unbelievable.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Carrier Rosenblum here with Rosenblum Realty, and we appreciate our MA family. Football season is back again, and we're here for your real estate needs. We've been also doing rental properties for many years. You may have a home that you need to lease out. You don't need the headaches. You need somebody to take care of it, make sure the repairs are done, keep the rent coming in, and screen the tenants. We can do all that for you at Rosenblum Realty, where we do property management services, or you can find a good home to rent as well. Call us at 256-539-9501. Put our years of experience to work for you.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, Managing Partner at University Kia, here letting you know we are proud supporters of Alabama A&M University football. Stop into University Kia today and shop our large selection of new Kias, including the all-new Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the stylish new K5, and sporty new Seltos. Visit universitykia.com and view all our great offers and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia today, because we want to see ya in the Kia. Go Bulldogs!
What's better than Valley Equipment Rental? 2 Valley Equipment Rentals, and that's just what we have now. The original on the South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road, and their second location on North Memorial Parkway just north of Winchester Road. Valley Equipment is locally owned and has more skid steers, excavators, and lifts than anyone in the area, plus all the small tools that you need to get the job done like a pro. And if you are a pro, you need to check out the new North location now because Valley Equipment has what you need. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Not looking or feeling your best? No energy for the things you like to do? Ready to look and feel younger? Make your appointment at Advanced Life Clinic, one of the region's foremost destinations for patients interested in looking and feeling their best. Specializing in advanced laser treatments and weight loss, male and female rejuvenation to offset the effects of aging, and more. See how Advanced Life Clinic can help you enjoy your life again. Call 256-882-6555 or log on advancedlifeclinic.com.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Monday, expect plenty of sunshine. High temperatures expected to top out in the upper 70s for the afternoon. We could see gusty winds as high as 20 miles per hour. Heading into your Monday night, temperatures will be dropping into the lower 50s for the overnight, and you can expect a clear sky. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is the Thom Abraham Show with the Auburn Tigers captain, tight end John Samuel Schenker.
Wide open in the end zone. Touchdown. John Samuel Schenker. Touchdown, Auburn.
Presented by Valley Equipment Rental.
Yes, that's why they call it God's country. I saw the light in a sunrise sitting back in a 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running.
And this segment of the Thom Abraham Show is brought to you by Valley Equipment Rental. They bring you John Samuel Schenker every week here on the show, and we really appreciate them so much. They got 2 locations to make sure that you get the equipment that you need to get the job done like a pro. And look, as we head deeper into the fall season now, start thinking about getting some of these jobs done that you need to get done, whether you need a skid steer or whether you need a excavator or a compressor or whatever it is that you need. They've got it. A lift to get the job done. The dump truck, I need that little dump body, that you drag behind the pickup truck, the dump body, because I'm going to knock a sidewalk out. So I got to get one of those from my good friends there at Valley Equipment Rental. You can get that done as well with both of their locations, and we thank Ross Roberts and his team for the great job that they do and the support that they give us in bringing us John Samuel Schenker, and he joins us now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. John Samuel, welcome in, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
I'm fantastic. I started calling their kicker, the Missouri kicker. I was calling him John Samuel Schenker after he shanked that 26-yard kick. Just take us through the emotions, because, look, you guys go out to a 14-0 lead. You got Robbie in there. TJ's out with the injury, and it looks like things are rolling. They come back and tie the game. Then the second half is like nobody can get anything going. I mean, it's just a punt fest in the second half. Then it looks like you lost. I mean, you've lost, and all these things are going through your head. The kid's coming in for a chip shot. He shanks that ball. What's going through your mind at that particular moment?
Yeah, I was praying there on the sideline before he kicked it. I was on the other side of the field, and probably on the 30, and I saw him line up, and I was like, wow, like that is center cut, little chip shot. And from my angle, I could see that he pushed it, but I didn't know if he made it or not. And so I waited for the referee to put his hands out, and I was just like, wow, they have given us a chance that, in that moment, I didn't think we really played well enough. I was like, wow, he's given us an opportunity here to really rewrite our story for this season, because that would have been a big loss. Just first game in the SEC. And then obviously Honors comes in, hits the field goal, and then craziness happens on the fumble into the end zone.
Yeah, that was, again, it looks like it's over at that moment in time, and then you escape with that victory, and you got to have some of those along the way, don't you? I mean, because you have some games, you always have some games that you might lose that you felt like you should have won, but that's one where you win, where you're snatching, victory from the jaws of defeat, as they say.
Yeah, and that's part of the SEC. Every week is a different week. Every team can beat everyone any given week, so you got to come ready to play. I thought he started really, really good. Like you said, in the first quarter, rolling there, Robbie, and he was operating really well, and, things lulled away, and but we found a way, and, we're 1-0 in the SEC. That's all you can ask for at this point.
You had 3 catches in a game, 39 yards. That was second, on the team because of the fact that, just only 145, 150 yards passing. It still seems like from a passing identity or from an offensive identity, you guys are still working to try and find what exactly that identity is going to be for you, no?
Yeah, that's, you try and find that as early in the year as possible, but, with injuries and whatnot, the team is still growing, things are still developing. Obviously, you want to open up the pass game, but you also need to have a run game as well. And I thought we'd done a great job of that. They loaded the box this week, which made it difficult for us to run. But that's you always want to have a great passing game, but as long as we win, that's really the whole key.
When you're in the huddle and you're looking around and you see the personnel that's coming and going in and out of the game, and you see a guy like Tank Bigsby, right? He's a guy who was very involved, obviously, in the first half. I thought he was hurt or something in the second half for a large portion of the time. He's on the sideline, and I wasn't sure what was going on over there. Does it cross your mind? Does it ever go through your own head? It's like, what's going on with Tank here? Why isn't he in the game? Or do you just, we'll light up with whoever we got and we're good to go?
Yeah, no, it's really, you don't really think about that in a game. It happens so fast. You're playing what's being called, and that's really the only thing you can do in the game like that is, just trying to win the game any way possible. So that doesn't really cross the mind during a game.
Yeah. Were you surprised that you guys didn't try that field goal late in minute 37 to go, about a 47-yarder? I know Carlson had missed a couple earlier, but were you kind of surprised that you went for it on that play?
No, not really, because we had done that earlier in the game and we converted, and we knew the situation. If we got that first down, obviously we'd probably milk the clock and kick a field goal anyways. So I was not surprised with the call. I mean, obviously we were in field goal range. It would have been a pretty long kick, but no, I understood why Coach Harsin wanted to go for it in that situation.
Yeah, John Samuel Schenker with us here talking about Auburn's win over Missouri. Get to 1-0 in the SEC, 3-1 on the season with LSU coming in. You're a veteran on this team. You're a captain. You wear that C patch. Robbie's a young kid. I mean, he's playing his first significant college football action after not playing for Oregon last year. I notice he has a tendency sometimes to get down on himself. If something doesn't go right, he kind of gets down on himself a little bit. Your responsibility, what do you, because I see other guys, I see you and other guys going around to him and kind of picking him up and keeping his head in the game. Is that just something that's a youth thing, or how do you handle that when you see a guy that you need that is, he's sometimes getting down on himself?
Yeah, well, he is hard on himself, which can be a good thing, but it can also beat you up really bad. He's just a competitor, and he wants to win, obviously, and play well. But yeah, when you're in the quarterback role, sometimes that's good, but sometimes you need to keep it in and keep it composed, because some guys may react to you if you react negatively. But he's done a great job. He's just really competitive. Sometimes that shows externally in ways that people may not like. So it's just, I guess it's timing. Sometimes it's really good for him to do that, and then sometimes it's better to pull back a little bit and try to hold it in to help the team just stay composed in certain moments.
I always like the guy that was hard on himself during the week. it's good for him to be hard on himself during the week because he's got high expectations, right? He wants to play great, be hard on yourself during the week, be pissed off during the practice if it doesn't go the way you want it to go. In the game, because he's the leader, he's out there, at that point in time, he's got to try and keep his chin up, all the time. So that's kind of a little bit of it there. And that's the thing, too, is that, guys, this because you've been around long enough now. It's different from high school. The cameras catch everything. I mean, there's cameras on everything, and they're going to see, every kind of little thing that's going on out there.
Yeah, no, and people, the young guys may not see that yet, but like that, they're going to catch everything you do. So it's good to have emotion. It is.
Yeah.
It's not really a problem, but I agree. They do catch everything, and things can get blown out of proportion sometimes if, you allow it to, and people take it the wrong way. So, there's a way to handle everything. But, just being the competitor he is, sometimes I guess that can get to him. But I like the energy. But, sometimes maybe just learn when and not to, when to show, that emotion.
John Samuel Schenker in here with us. Finley was out for this week. Do you feel like, and so Robbie's getting his first start. And obviously, with Zach Calzetta being out for the rest of the season, that wasn't an option. It's kind of weird. You guys went all summer long. Everybody's talking about will it be T.J. Finley or Zach Calzetta, and it ends up being Robbie Ashford and the true freshman, Grenier, however the hell you say his name. I can't even. He hasn't completed enough passes yet for me to be able to say his name right. But I mean, so it ends up kind of a different deal. But is there any update you can give us on TJ? Is it just something that's just week to week?
Yeah, I'm not sure when TJ will be back. I think it is week to week. He seems to be doing well. I'm not sure what his timeline is or anything. I haven't been able to talk about that with anybody. But if I had to guess, it's probably week to week. I'm sure when he's back healthy enough, he'll be ready to go. I know he's eager to get back out there. So that's just a matter of, what his injury really is, because I'm not really sure the extent of it.
So you get to this point at 3-1. Now it's getting serious. LSU comes in at Georgia, at Ole Miss. Probably not even thinking about those games. It's all about LSU. And what are you seeing in this LSU team? Because, we weren't sure what they were going to look like at the beginning of the year, and now it's starting to look like, they've improved and are getting better and better week to week. What are some of the challenges you see out of this LSU team?
Yeah, I agree. I think you can't really look at that Florida State game as a team that they are now. They're kind of forming back into the LSU that you'd expect, a physical team with good defensive line and good linebackers and really talented guys on the back end. So it's going to be a challenge. It always is. LSU is a great opponent, a good rivalry to be a part of, and it'll be a fun Saturday night.
What's your favorite? What's your best LSU memory and your worst LSU memory? Like something that I hated that, or something that really went well for you against LSU?
Yeah, last year I would say was our best LSU moment, beating them there for the first time in 20-something years. That was really an awesome feeling. That was a really cool celebration as well. And then worst was probably 2018. They came here, and we were up most of that game, and that was Joe Burrow's first year at LSU, and they came back and beat us, kicked the field goal at the end of the game to beat us. So that was probably my worst memory against LSU.
Changes, just the energy in the stadium. Again, this is something that captains and veterans, right? You got to pass that along to the young guys. Everything changes, the demeanor and everything will change in that building when it's LSU, when it's Arkansas in a few weeks, when you guys get back after the bye, those types of deals. You've had this long run. This is the fifth game to open up the season, 5 straight games at home, but it's going to feel different with LSU in the building, right?
Yes. No, that's. I think everyone understands that. But yeah, like Missouri, big game, obviously SEC opener, but now everything's about to be ramped up. The energy, the intensity of the games, physicality. It's all about to take the next step, and that's what you come here for, playing games like this in the SEC.
All right. I would, if I could get a call into Harsin, I would tell him, game plan. I'd say 8-9 targets to the tight end. You know what I mean? I mean, they're there. He's open, and even when he's covered, he's open. So get him the ball. Right. So look to him, get him the ball, and we'll see what happens. But good luck this week, man. Congrats on the win, and go get him, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. They're a 7.5 point dog at home to LSU. They need to have their best game. This one needs to be the best game. They can't beat them the way they've been playing. They need to have their best game right here. All right, phone lines go open the rest of the way. Brandon, get back in. Brandon always seems to be coming in right when we're bound up. But get back in, Brandon, for the third time. 256-576-4977. We'll get you in. We'll go to the lines next, right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Your favorite sports book, BetUS.com, is back for their 28th year of NFL action. With the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%, BetUS offers their members the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite leagues, including college football and the NFL. They've also got hundreds of new casino games, including the coolest European slots, and their live dealers are waiting for you at the tables. Sign up at BetUS.com and use the promo code WZZN. That's BetUS.com and the promo code WZZN.
Listen up, sports fans. Your favorite sportsbook, BetUS.com, is back for a 28th year of NFL action. With the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%, BetUS offers our members the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite sports, including NFL, NBA, MLB, and more. We've also got hundreds of new casino games, including the coolest new European slots, and our live dealers are waiting for you at the tables. Sign up at BetUS.com or call 1-800-99-BET-US and get into the action. BetUS, where the game begins.
Coach, how's this year's lineup looking?
It's looking great. We got a lot of MVVs, and they are looking outstanding. Next.
Yes, what about trades?
Ma'am, University Kia always gives up to $5,000 of a KBB trade-in value. Right now, get up to $5,000 over Kelly Blue Book fair market value for any trade at University Kia. New 2022 Kia K5s are just $199 per month. Plus, we want to buy your car. Scan the QR code to see what your car's worth. Only at University Kia.
Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Thom Abraham here for my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
Something you probably do know. Progressive can not only offer you a great price when you bundle home and auto, they offer you round-the-clock protection. Something you probably don't know, the average garage door is made up of 1.3 millimeter aluminum panels. Something you probably do know, your neighbor likes to tinker with his dirt bike. Something you probably don't know, a runaway dirt bike can take out your garage door and a good portion of your car bumper. Bundle your home and auto with Progressive and get more than a great price. Get round-the-clock protection. Something you know for the things you don't know. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers, and subject to policy terms. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey.
With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
Businesses don't run on automation or algorithms alone. What powers businesses are your people and the people they serve. At Cintas, your dedicated service reps understand what you need to help you keep your employees feeling safe, comfortable, and performing their best. So your business can too. For workwear, essential cleaning products, first aid and safety supplies, and fire protection services, visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Do you know that your car or truck or SUV may be worth up to 30 or 40% more than it was last year? It's true. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and now is the perfect time to trade in, trade up to a gold certified or blue certified pre-owned car, truck, SUV, or crossover. While our new vehicle inventory continues to build back, our Ford Blue Advantage certified pre-owned vehicles are nearing 100 models to choose from, and a good variety too. Woody Anderson Ford Gold certified vehicles are 6 years or younger with less than 80,000 miles and have passed a 172-point inspection by factory certified technicians. They have a 14-day, 1,000-mile money-back guarantee, a great comprehensive limited warranty, 24-hour roadside assistance, and go home with full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. Get nearly a new ride and none of the worries. Woody Anderson Ford, Jordan Spartman, hope to see you soon.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Monday, expect plenty of sunshine. High temperatures expected to top out in the upper 70s for the afternoon. We could see gusty winds as high as 20 miles per hour. Heading into your Monday night, temperatures will be dropping into the lower 50s for the overnight, and you can expect a clear sky. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Local sports is covered right here.
Well, appreciate what you guys do for sports, but also for high school sports and taking time to talk to us. That means a lot, and appreciate what you guys do and appreciate you having us on.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Is brought to you by the Orthopedic Center. The Orthopedic Center. What is all of that noise going on in the background, Grizz? Goodness gracious almighty. The TOC Sports, now they have, of course, the after-hour clinic that is open every Friday night. After all of the high school football games, you can get in there if you need them. They always hope that it's empty, but, you know, if you need it, it's there, the after-hour clinic at TOC. They take care of so many of the schools in our area. I mean, they do such a tremendous job. The docs are so good. They're so dedicated. They're so talented. And whether it's a surgery or whether it's just a therapy, they can take care of you. Now, it's not just about sports either. It's the Orthopedic Center. So that means whether you're aging or whether you're got hurt at work or whatever it is that happened to you, TOC can take care of you. All right. So they just do a great job. All right, phone lines are open 256-576-4977. We'll get you into the show if you want to jump in. Time for us to make a little of an announcement, Grizz. Can I make a little bit of an announcement here? I mean, I think it's time to make a little bit.
Tom has an announcement.
Yeah. An announcement. All right, the Ultimate Iron Bowl Tailgate Experience, brought to you by Baumhauer's Victory Grill, is open for business once again. That's right. Beginning this Thursday at our remote down there at Baumhauer's with the drive with the West Neighbors and Steve Moulton, will be your first opportunity to sign up. And you can sign up each and every week at our, register to win box. You can sign up for the Bunch for Lunch gift certificate, which is lunch for you and 6 of your friends. Well, lunch for 6. You and 5 of your friends to Baumhauer's Victory Grill. And that will serve as your qualification for your chance to win Baumhauer's Ultimate Iron Bowl Tailgate Experience. Now, the winner will be announced the week of November 14th through the 18th. You get 2 tickets, 2 of Baumhauer's personal tickets to the Iron Bowl in Tuscaloosa, and an invitation to Bob's exclusive pregame party at the Crimson Tide Sports Marketing Crimson Village. Woo! Located right in front of Bryant-Denny Stadium. I mean, that's pretty significant. That's pretty significant. Now, here's the deal. We will have the register to win box up at various other remotes as well. All right? Bob Wallace Appliance, car dealerships, Kia, Bill Penny, Woody Anderson Ford, and at Baumhauer's. Okay, we will have it at each of these remotes. And we'll pick each Thursday at the end of the show, the boys will pick the winning name for that week's Bunch for Lunch. But the rest of the names stay in the box. Now, what does that mean? Well, what that means is that if you go to the remotes, 1, 2, 3 remotes a week, and keep putting your name, one time per remote. You go to the remotes, you put your name in a box, and you can win. 2, 3 a week, 2 a week. How are you saying 3 a week? You don't know how many a week. It could be 1, could be 2. You don't know how many. Whatever remotes that you're going to that we announce, and we'll tell you what car dealership we're going to be at. Or we'll tell you when we're going to be at Baumhauer's every Thursday night. Okay? So you enter to win there, and then your name stays in there. So by the middle of the season, you could be in there 10, 12 times. You'll have an excellent opportunity to win. So you win the lunch bunch, and you win an opportunity. If you win a lunch bunch, you're then qualified for a chance to win the Ultimate Iron Bowl Tailgate Experience. No Brandon. Grizz is not coming to work dressed like the Tennessee fan in the SEC shorts. No, that's not going to happen. By the way, that is one of the best ones ever. I reposted that this morning. Good. That was really good. I reposted that this morning. They're at a conference table, and they're having a meeting of all of the top 10 SEC teams. Of course, Alabama and Georgia are there in their regular chairs. You know what I mean? They're like bored by the meeting. Kentucky is there all wide-eyed, and then Tennessee comes strolling in. Arkansas had left the meeting. And Kentucky said, "Don't worry, Arkansas, I'll drain you in a little bit." Tennessee will be in the meeting for another week because they're off this week. Then they go to at LSU, and then they get Alabama at home. And then they get Kentucky at home. We'll see how that all works out for them. Kentucky is at Ole Miss this week. See if that bubble bursts there. That is a really, really good game. That's one I'm really interested in. There are some real good games coming up on Saturday in the SEC. The Kentucky at Ole Miss game is a must-watch game. It really is. That's a must-watch game. Alabama at Arkansas, huge. Alabama's a 16.5-point favorite in that game now. Auburn hosting LSU, huge. Auburn is giving 7.5 to LSU. LSU's a 7.5-point favorite at Auburn in that game. Let me tell you something. Sneaky game. Mississippi State hosting Texas A&M the week before Texas A&M plays Alabama. That is a sneaky, sneaky game right there. I mean, there's, 4 or 5 really good games in the SEC this week. It'll be a great, great Saturday in SEC action. All right, coming up next is the Chuck Oliver Show. That will be followed, well, he'll follow